In terms of results, 683 graduates so far, with a recidivism rate, and this is calculated over 3 years of release. It's less of 10% in the program compared to about 68% average in the States if you don't go in the program. So it just shows that something's working there because the numbers are pretty amazing. The unemployment rate is 98% within 3 months of release with a criminal record, remember. Average number of days to gain employment is 27 days. And 75 businesses have been started since the beginning of the program, which was 6 years ago. 50 are still active. In terms of the results on the personal side, I mean, I won't touch on all of them, but just to say that it really gives them a sense of self-confidence and value. Probably most of them have not been affirmed a lot in their lives. And it's the first big positive accomplishment that they do to get to do this business plan, survive through the program and the character assessments. So it's really spectacular to see them grow in their self-confidence as the events and the program goes. In terms of the future, PP's goals within 3 years is to fully occupy the Cleveland prison. There's about 100 of them when the program starts, but the prison is actually 500. So they would like to occupy all of it, and they have the wardens, the director's support for that. They would like to graduate 300 men per year, and other things as well, including doing a business incubator outside of prison. And longer term, they'd like to get into a second Texas prison, or perhaps in another state, but that's to be seen. There's other similar programs that have been started, that are starting to different levels, by other individuals, not PEP, but just based on the general concepts of it, in other states, in Germany, and I'm asking the question, what about Canada? So briefly about my experience in prison, I said that it really connected with my heart when I heard about it in my car on the 417 in July, and at that point I really loved them. It's hard to explain, and I felt very strongly that I had to go. And the specific thing I had to tell them is that I loved them on that highway, the 417. And it came to me extremely strongly, like so strongly that I had to phone them. I went on their website, and I ended up at the kickoff event. And when they asked the first-timers to actually say why they're there, you see my picture, that's when I'm telling them. I said, I heard about you in Canada on a highway. I loved you, and I had a strong impression that I had to come and tell you. So I'm telling you that you're precious and that I love you. Even though I didn't know your faces and so on before, but it was quite something. And afterward, and I felt a bit cheesy saying that, I was like, and all the other people are business people. I'm kind of the outsider as a lawyer, you know. And afterwards, a lot of them came to me and said, thank you so much for what you said. It means a lot to us. And I've received many thank you cards and so on. So I thought, I really God that led me to go and tell them that. So, and then I went for etiquette night. And again, I told them, at that point, I had to share with them about the cost for me to go. Because, I mean, it's financial, it's stress, it's accommodation at work and so on. And I told them that in relation to their preciousness, and I told them there's a lot of cost for me, but your preciousness actually outweighs my cost. And I just felt that I had to tell them that to affirm their persons. And I got to meet 2 of them outside of prison, Trey to the left and Jose. And it's quite impressive to see their life stories and how they've come along. I mean, in some cases, I think they're truly walking miracles. And I think, yes, there are techniques and things like that, but to a great extent, and the inmates will say that as well, is that some of those things are too hard to deal by yourself. And they actually think that, you need divine intervention to actually change to a deep level. I'll finish with how to get involved. No obligation, I'm just sharing it for those who are interested. With PP, you can come to prison. There's a graduation in December, and they have their kickoff event for the next class at the end of January. You can donate and talk to others about it. And There's no similar programs, to my knowledge, in Canada that deals with leadership or entrepreneurship focus for prison, not ministry, but programs. But there's other existing programs like the Correctional Services Canada that needs volunteer in different respects, and we're glad to have one of their representatives with us today. And then John Howard Society, those are not-for-profit. Elizabeth Fry deals with the female inmates, and Circles of Support and Accountability are for sexual offenders that try to reintegrate society afterwards. There's some faith-based organizations as well. So that's the contact information here. So I think at this point, I'll just finish with the one video, because we won't have time for the second one. It's 4 minutes.
I think a lot of people have a pretty negative opinion of people in prison, but apparently not everybody does.
The guys aren't given a second chance. They're given $100 and one-way ticket back to the place that they came from.
Basically, I was expecting to see animals in cages, and I showed up on that first prison visit and saw human beings instead.
Maybe 90% of the people that come to prison are going to get back out, and they're eventually going to come back out into society. So there needs to be something that takes place in here for a change to take place.
I learned quickly that the way that gangs are run and that drugs are sold, that there's so many parallels with legitimate business success. And so I thought, what if we actually equipped them with tools and a network so that they could use their influence for good?
The first thing we did, when we first got here was we were told to let down our barriers with the idea of crazy stuff like dancing in front of each other, hugging each other.
That's truly how it happens.
Non-prison life.
By having to get out there
That's us.
and break down personal barriers, it just pulls more motivation out of the people. They open up more, and you can just feel the excitement, the energy in this whole room.
Partnerships are crucial to our work. We work with 26 MBA programs nationally, and Baylor has been just an awesome part of that.
We learn how to pitch our business in a real-life setting. I'm working with Jacqueline Simpson, and she's been a great help.
It's amazing seeing them transform, and you might as well help them out so that they don't have to go back to that life.
They really give great feedback, and they care, and that's the main thing. Is you're touching somebody's heart more than just editing a business plan, and that's what it's all about.
They are tested, if not daily, weekly. They turn in papers constantly. They are held to a higher standard within the prison, not only by Catherine, but by the warden.
When I went to the graduation, you could just see that the families were big, and they were just so proud. And I saw how they had changed their lives since they began the program at PEP.
Cedric is someone who, after even doing 7 years in prison, he decided to take the initiative to go and start a business.
From the day I got out, it was like I was equipped. They had equipped me with some tools to use for how to write a business plan and just to be able to present myself in a professional manner. The business students who come into PEP, volunteer at time, has had a dramatic impact on my life. I remember when I was giving my sales pitch to Drew, and Drew just gave me some awesome feedback. Because he's so genuine, he speaks from the heart. He loves what he do. It ain't no faking or nothing. He just volunteering his time, trying to help a brother out.
He's one of those guys who's going to go out there and make it. And he used all the skills in here that we provided for him, and he's gone out there and he's making a difference in the community through Move by Love.
Now, my first company, since I've been, liberated, is going great. I'm happy. Just hired my, first employee. So, it's good. I'm looking forward to getting my second truck in by July and keep expanding and hopefully take Move by Love nationwide.
I equate it to, in a sense, physicians going into developing countries and offering their services. This is a chance for us to go into an environment as students, even as faculty and staff, to use our skills to help others.
For a person who don't know you to volunteer their time to someone who society has written off, it's like, to me, it's really a blessing.
I get so much out of it, I don't even know how to put it all into words how much I get out of it.
I checked out Move by Love on the website to see if he's still up and running, because this video was from about 2 years ago. And well, his website is still there, and he apparently hired more people and get good feedback. So that's just one example.